Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Mike? Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Bradford for the day. What day are we on now? Day 3? Thursday, I'm told. Lose track of days and times when you're don't see daylight for 24 hours at a time. We've got, this is the start of where the seeds join the tournament, so the top 32 seeds have all joined the tournament, so we're at this last 64 stage, so the tournament's really starting to ramp up, so it's a first round match for Craig Marsh, but Jake's had to win 2 or 3 games to get this far. Not the greatest start for Craig, going straight in off with his first break, giving Jake a first opportunity in the match, but I think he'll be frustrated with that shot. Looks like he's finished awkward, but it's difficult to tell. If we have a little look at camera 3, you see it looks he might just be able to pop the left hand of these two. Yeah, he's played that really nicely. Back in perfect position now. So a couple of stumbling blocks. He's got the yellow on the right hand side. The red's covering that obvious pocket, but it probably does go to the bottom left, so he might be able to play on that now. when he can. So now everything's got a pocket. Just probably needs to cue the one down the rail at some point. He could play for that as a double as well, but I expect he'll try and get on it for down the rail. See, he could play to move it. He could try and pop this one and get on the one to the bottom left straight away afterwards. And maybe probably a little bit thin for that now. Yeah, he finished too thin. So he played the double and was able to move the yellow but missed the double. So that was a really good opportunity for Jake. But, it's obviously very difficult early match nerves, and it just ran a fraction out of position. So not such a good chance for Craig. He's got sort of problems all around the table. And again, not really the shot he wanted. Looked a tricky shot. He tried to play the double, but he's missed it by a little bit on the wide side. So kind of developed one of the awkward balls for Jake, and it looks like he's left him probably a little bit thin on the one to the left middle. He might be going close to potting that black, so he needs to cue this one in instead. No, so I don't think there's any real damage done. Looks like Craig might have to find a safety shot, and this red to the top left must go the way he's queuing up at it. So, and it does, so that a really good chance now. It's just the two reds to the bottom left probably need to. He may choose to move them. He could plant them, but they're not sort of dead set. But they're very very makeable. Be interesting to see if he does just play the plant or play on them. And he is playing for the plant. So. And now the table's wide open for him. I'll say a couple of first two visits to the table mistakes from Craig, but it looks like he's still going to have a good chance to get this 1-0 lead, which is a little bit frustrating for Jake, because with Craig being one of the top seeds and obviously one of the favourites for the tournament, he probably wants to get off to a really good start. So doesn't want to let those couple of mistakes affect him. Of course, very early days. For those of you that haven't been watching this week, we're in set play. Each set's a race to 4, and it's a best of 5 sets. So it's 1-0 Craig. After his first couple of mistakes, he's made quite light work of that.
All right, I was wondering what the other
Oh wow, massive break. Really, really crunched that break. It's not a great outcome from him. He's left himself an awkward first shot. But if he hits the break like that all the way through the match, he's going to give himself an awful lot of chances. Because that, yeah, fantastic. I don't know Jake particularly well. I've not spoken to him or played against him, but I know that I think he's from somewhere in the Hull area, somewhere like that. I think, and I think he had a good run in this tournament last year. Probably, I want to say quarterfinals, maybe last 16, but I think it was quarterfinals. And he's been playing. I know that he was in the England under-23 side last year, so he's obviously a very, very good player. That was a really high tariff first shot. The 4 colours have been assigned. They say the break was big, but his first shot was really awkward. And, but he took it on. Tried, if he makes that ball down the rail, he's got a great chance to win the frame. It's just early, and it's a really tough shot. So he hasn't quite settled yet. Not too much work for Craig here. He may just decide to move the red and yellow on the right hand side, but probably not. I think the yellow goes anyway, so no need to move anything. He didn't really want to flip the red, but it hasn't. He's only grazed it, so it's done no damage. So no problem at all. So sort of frame at his mercy now. For those of you tuned in at the moment, I haven't got the chat facility open, but hopefully get something sorted soon. So if you want to send in, get the chat going and ask any questions or send us your thoughts, then we'll be able to get that sorted. But I'll let you know when I'm ready for that. Part of the problem for Jake with that first opening shot was that he knew that if he missed it, he was all but certain to lose the frame. You would have expected Craig to clear that up as soon as he missed, so it puts that extra bit of pressure on as well. Okay, I've got some the stream. I've got the chat facility open, so send in your thoughts. Let us know who you think is going to win the match and why. Obviously Craig being a favourite, but let's have some score predictions possibly. So Craig with a lovely break and another really good chance. Again, no need to nudge anything, no need to develop anything. Everything goes. So he just needs to work his route out. Probably needs to be a little bit careful with the yellow to the right hand side, just how he pots it and gets back out. That's probably his major stumbling block, but it's not too much of a problem for him. A few questions about the odds. I think Corals are doing match odds, certainly pre-match odds for all the last 64 matches. So if you go to Corals website, then you can have a look at those. We haven't got in-play betting on the matches at the moment. That may be coming later in a week. We have to wait and see. Craig off to a fantastic start. Yeah, David, I think I agree. I commentated on that Jordan Church Ian Ali match yesterday, and an absolute treat that was. Fantastic match. Both of them playing their part, an absolutely brilliant match. And yeah, I thought the way Jordan sort of came back at Ian with some very, very quick fire finishes was incredibly impressive. So I spoke to him afterwards, and he said he was a bit angry, which probably sped his play up a little bit, but it was incredibly impressive. Hopefully we're in for a few more of those. I think once the doubles got underway yesterday, we had a couple of black ball shootouts as well, so we've had some cracking matches already on the stream, and hopefully many more to come. He really crunched that break, but unfortunately last time he came awkward, and this time he's come dry, but he's hit both those breaks brilliantly. So Craig with a chance to really take a very quick fire first set here. Again, he's got no major stumbling blocks. Probably the top four are wide open. The two on the left hand side, if he gets good position on the sort of outer one, then he can get on the inner one and probably maybe his last two balls. So if they are to be his last two balls, it's probably just how he gets on the one nearest the black. But if he leaves the yellow in the middle of the table goes to the left middle, and if he leaves that till his third last ball, he can just drop that in and follow through just an inch or three, and he'll be perfect. So if it does, I don't see him having any problems. If not, he just needs to play a really good positional shot to get on that. He's got a pretty good margin for error as well, so I fully expect him to do that, but that's the only sort of saving grace for Jake, I think. Yeah, it did go, so now he's absolutely perfect, and as I thought, he's taking these as his last two, as this one is just a simple drop in for the black in the middle, and making the game look very, very simple. So his first set to Craig. I think that shows how quickly a set can get away from you and how important every chance is. We're playing set form, so it's a race to 4 in each set and a best of 5 sets. But Jake had a really good chance, but had a good chance. It wasn't, it was tricky, especially with it being the first frame, and then since then he had one long, difficult pot to go for, and other than that he's done nothing else, and Craig's just mopped up what as you expect him to do, but he made it look very easy, and especially early in the match, very impressive start from Craig. Okay, so as we start set 2, Jake's made a ball and has a good chance. This is important for the match, really. I know it's there's still potentially a long way to go, and it's still early, but Jake needs to get a frame on the board, and this is a very good chance. Okay, he's developed his only awkward ball. His only ball that needed developing, he's done. Now needs to pull out a very good positional shot. And if this shot goes well, he should have a fairly simple finish. So it's how this shot now, he's going to have to probably use the top cushion. I don't know if he can hold. Yeah, that's fine. Just get himself on the ball to the right-hand side. And now they're there from. It looks a little awkward, but actually, it's actually probably very, very good. It looks like he just probably he wants to drift inside this yellow. I think unless it goes to the bottom left, the one he's nearest. If that goes to the bottom left, then he can probably play for it at the bottom left. But he may just decide to come inside it, nudge into the two reds. Oh, he's gone the other way, so it does go. And if it does, which I'm sure it does, then he just plays this on and off the cushion and should leave himself a sort of half ball, three-quarter ball. On the last yellow, just stun up through the reds and black to the bottom right. Yeah, very impressive from Jake. The way that first set went, that was quite a bit of pressure on that to get going. Didn't really want to fall behind, and he knew that was a good chance straight after the break. So very, very impressive from Jake, and hopefully a bit of a settler for him. There's a few questions coming in. The score in the first set was 4-0. Sorry, you can see that on the screen underneath Craig's name. You can see the 0-4. And just like that, Jake's got another great chance. So the splits have been very big in this this match so far. Good chances off every break, really. Unfortunately, Craig's come up dry, and Jake really doesn't have any issues on this table. It's a case of everything's got a pocket again, so just needs to work out his route. We thought when he hit that, I think he thought he might have just rattled it, went off the wide jaw, but at a nice pocket pace, so fell in. So the only ball really he needs to be careful on is the one by the black. He just wants to be careful, make sure he gets on it. As he gets on it straight to either corner pocket. Just doesn't want to give himself any more stress on that yellow than he really needs. So doesn't want to be giving himself a lot of angle on it. Just fairly straight and he shouldn't have a problem. I suspect he'll play for it now. If he could have left the yellow at the top till his second last ball, then he may have left that ball till last. He may still leave it till last with the position of this. No, he is. Just needs to screw back up the table. He's straight enough on this, that's no problem. Oh, he was much. I thought he was going towards the cushion. He's much straighter than I thought, so absolutely no problem at all. And again, really good. Been asked for other table scores. I don't think we've got live scoring, in-play scoring this week. We will try and update you as best we can from the commentary box. We can't really see any of the other table scores, but Q Score will have all the results on there, and it's got the draw, so you can sort of follow that through and pick out who you want to win, see your favourites, that sort of thing. All the other draws, so the doubles and the seniors and ladies and everything else, they're on there as well. So I think the ladies gets underway later today. Doubles is in full progress, and seniors as well. So plenty to go and check out. Okay, it's Jake's turn, another big break, but Jake's turn's come up dry, so set form, it really is sort of each set's quite severe. It's only a race to 4. It can be one mistake, it can be no mistakes. It could be a dry break either way, so this is Craig's chance to get going in this set. Slightly more work than the last two visits from Jake. So it looks like I would have thought he was going to go yellows, but I think he might be eyeing up reds. If he goes reds, then he's just got that one. Yeah, played that well. He's just got that one red and yellow by the sort of left-hand side of the table together. But because there's a red there, it's pretty simple to nudge into it. Just wants to be careful. He doesn't want to nudge the red. If he nudges the red, it's going up towards the left-hand pocket. He wants to nudge the yellow, just like that. Really good shot. Yeah, Matthew Wiley. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jake's certainly around the 23 mark. I think he is possibly moving up from England under 23s to the England men's B section this year. If that's the case, then he must be 23. So yeah, around that age anyway. Not a good angle for Craig here. Needs to hit the gap. Well, he complained he got a kick there. You just heard him say kick, but he's finished perfect. He's finished pretty good, so no real dramas at all. Oh wow. Oh wow. Just trying to hold it, and hasn't reached the cushion, so not only a missed pot and a missed opportunity, but a foul as well. So gives Jake the opportunity just to develop probably the yellow on the left-hand side rail, just to nudge it off. Possibly he may choose to pot one of Craig's reds instead, or put one of the reds safe somehow. That's how he sees it. Looks like our Commander-in-Chief is joining us. Mr. Barton's just about to jump into the commentary box. So, any of you out there have got any questions? Let's get him under some pressure this morning.
It's too early for questions.
Morning, Kev.
Morning.
Morning. So this has been a fascinating match so far. Jake had a good chance to win frame 1. But it was a tricky finish, but one he would expect to make, but if it wasn't the first frame he probably would make. And then Craig, just 4 visits to the table, won the first set. But Jake's responded with 2 dishes off the break in the second set and just missed. And Craig just missed a great opportunity to go 2-1. He didn't reach the pocket with the pot into the middle. So now Jake's got a chance for 3-0. So really big swing so far in this match already.
Yeah, well, been hearing a lot of good things about Jake recently. He's quite successful.
Yeah, he made a quarter-final last year here, didn't he? I think.
Not sure, but he recently won. Did he win the under-23s?
He was in the B section. I think he won the Nations Cup under-23s. I'm pretty certain because of the because I'm in the England men's B, I'm aware that Jake's been offered a men's B place. So I think he's just making the jump up from under 23s to the men's section. So he's obviously a very, very good player.
Certainly holding himself together well in the circumstances.
The way he's played in this set is so impressive after the way the first set went. It's very, very impressed.
Confidently played.
So there we have it, 3-0, and that's the first one that will annoy Craig because that's the first time he had a shot in the frame, in the set, sorry. He'll be very disappointed not to have won that frame. Someone's just messaged in to say Jake's from Hustlers at Hull. Yeah, I thought he was a Hull boy. So.
Usual Craig Marsh tap break.
Yeah, the level of breaking in this match so far has been impressive. That every break's had this sort of split. It's just whether they've made a ball or been kicked in or not, off or not. So, pretty impressive start breaking wise.
So how did you get on in the seniors last night, Simon?
I decided not to play in the seniors this year.
Okay.
Just an age thing, really.
You could have had some of my years, and then.
How did you get on?
Yeah, just scraped a little win, 7-3 against Glencrook. It was closer than the 7-3 scoreline suggests. Just a couple of shots either way from Glyn. If it had gone his way, it would have been one of those nervy ones, I think.
Yeah. Well, it sets you up nicely for your last 64 match at 1 o'clock today.
Yes, against someone I've played many times before, and in fact played here last year in a 6-hour epic. Yes, 6 hours.
Who are you playing?
Steve Thompson.
Steve. Now, Steve.
He's not got through that one.
Steve dodged a bullet earlier in the week. He was playing Chris Hinchcliffe and was 2-0 down, 3-all, and Chris had, I wouldn't say a regulation black, but a black. He would be very disappointed not to make. He rattled it, and Steve then cleared up and went on to win 3-2. So he was probably ready to shake hands, and here we are 2 days later, and he's still going and has you in a few hours' time.
Yep, but he's got the plum draw that everybody wanted.
It's a good finish from Craig, especially after what happened in the last frame.
Yep, made short work of them. Certainly weren't gimmies.
I think that frame at 3-0 down, you're kind of coasting a bit free-rolling, really, because you kind of almost... He's probably mentally prepared himself for set 3 already, really. But if a dry break here and all of a sudden the set's right back on.
So the actions continue now on the outer tables. The start of the business end of the main event, last 64, where the seeds come in with 32 qualifiers. And there's some pretty good matches out there. Certainly Clint Ianson and Ali is one that stands out.
We can see, just from our position, we can see the number 1 and Bookie's favourite Mark Farnsworth and the current world champion So if you're near the Bradford area, get yourself down to the Bradford Hotel, come in and have a watch. It really is a pretty impressive spectacle. And the 2015 world champion as well, and table next to Mark. So lots of great players in action this morning.
World champions everywhere.
World champions everywhere.
I see the two-time seniors champion got beat last night.
Yeah, his crown has gone.
Jason Twist, who was playing on the table at the side of me against Jason Remington, who
I still refuse to believe he's old enough to play in the seniors. I'm sorry. I'm not having it. I'm just not having it.
We haven't had any official confirmation that he has reached the young age of 40 to qualify. But,
how's this? How can Dan Davey not be old enough to play seniors and Jason Remington is? It doesn't make sense.
No. Well, it's all to do with the paper round.
Yeah.
And Craig was actually my tip yesterday when I was asked what I thought would win.
Yeah, and I quite liked your reasoning as well. You know, the way he handled adapted to a different style of play in South Africa with the grippier cloth and the way it played in South Africa. I think you felt he was going to adapt best to these new conditions.
Yeah, but you know, it's a piece of paper between all these top boys. It's just whoever gets maybe that little nudge, little roll at that crucial time that'll probably be the difference.
So having said that Craig was probably mentally preparing himself for set 3 at 3-0 down, he's managed to break clear, and now Jake's gone dry, and Craig has a very good chance to make it 3-2 with the break. So he could really ramp the pressure onto Jake here, and really big moments in the match, to be honest. He's just come a little bit too far there, though. That was a good shot from Craig. Looks like he's got a nice angle that he can just play this and just let it drift through. I wonder if he's cannoning the red, then he's perfect. He's just wide of it, but still played it lovely.
Yep. And straight away he's adapted to the pace.
Yeah.
Of the table.
I know that his local club has got a cloth in, but his local club really is a who's who of IPA stars. I've been down there a few times, and you're spoilt for choice for world-class opponents to practice with. And they've got one table at the moment with this cloth on, and they were sort of allocated 1 hour slots. So he's probably had an hour on this table. Lots of debate on the chat about rule sets. Not really that interested with that. Let's get something going about who you think is going to win the tournament and why you think they're going to win the tournament. Who's your tip?
Yeah, why do people get so hung up about the rules? Just play pool, enjoy it. People want to play world rules, play world rules.
Absolutely, no issues with world rules at all. But we're playing Blackpool, and we think Blackpool is fantastic, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, now then,
no.
That's a rarity, a dry break from Craig. And if those two reds are a plant in the top right, then I think he's going to be...
This is why I love set form, and I found this out myself. It's you're 3-0 up, and this could be his chance to win the set. And from 3-0, this could be his only chance to win the set as well. That's how severe the format can be at times, and especially with this high class of player on show. So he really needs to focus and make the most of this.
Yes, someone is obviously still drunk from the night before because they've just tipped me to win.
You've got more chance than I have, Kev. That's for certain.
Okay, for the seniors, am I going to do the double then?
You're on for the double.
I'm on for the double.
Did you make it through in the doubles?
No.
Oh, trebles off.
No, I've changed Ian Alley for life. He'll never be the same again after his experience. But no, it was good. Enjoyed it. It was a good. It was like going back a few years. It was a tough old battle. It was just, the French guys are quite deliberate in how they play. So, but it was a good match. It was a good match. Enjoyed it. Didn't play great, but it was a good tough old battle. Unfortunately, we just lost 7-5. We were 6-2 down. Got it back to 6-5. And we worked hard to get back to 6-all, but unfortunately, just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, it's a shame for the crowd and everyone around that we didn't get to see you in a Blackpool shootout.
Cool. I was dreading it.
I think there was a couple of big crowds for a Blackpool shootout on the stream yesterday, both of them. But I think there may have been a slightly bigger one if word had got around that you were in a Blackpool shootout.
Yeah, because everybody just wants to see the chairman suffer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I'm a better commentator than I am player these days, and that's saying something.
Yeah, I keep getting told the same thing, which is a worry.
Yeah, someone's tipping John McAllister, Neil Rayborn. Oh, that is a great shot. That is a great
fantastic.
shot.
Oh, brilliant.
That is, well, that's the best shot I've seen since I've sat down today. Yeah, that was a great shot. An absolutely perfect angle on this one into the middle. He's still going to have... I think what he'd like to do is if he can get directly behind the yellow that's near the middle bag on the left-hand side, have to put in this one, he might be able to nudge it in off the red.
Yeah, he may need to play that depending on the angle he's left.
I think he needs a bit...
He's probably got an angle where he doesn't need to do it.
And if he can just spin that through with a little bit side, just to kiss into the red off the rail.
Yeah, if he just drops this in and leaves the white on the rail, this makes the pot just that fraction harder. Oh, he didn't have... I had a completely different angle than I thought he had. I thought he was just going to rest it on the rail, but just needs to cue this one well. This is for the set. This shot now.
This is not easy.
Oh, fantastic!
It's nailed it.
Brilliant. Really confident player, Jake. Sorry.
Well, that is a good finish. That is a very good finish.
So after a 4-0 first set to Craig, we're showing you a shot from last night.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that. So after going 4-0 in the first set, Craig might have thought he might cruise through this match. He now knows that he's in for a battle. Jake showed a lot in that set. A lot of quality.
Yeah, someone tipping Jordan Shepherd. I think there's been quite a bit of money for Shepherd this year.
Yeah.
For Corals.
I think there's been a lot of money on for Liam Dunster as well. He's been backed in quite a long way. Not surprisingly, with the record he's had over the last 12 months at all. That's the only thing lacking from his CV over the last 12 months was one of the IPA titles, and he went very close in one of the pro events. So he's sort of knocking on the door with the IPA, and he's winning other events. So a across the country and beyond.
Oh, little scream from a baby in the audience there, who's supporting Jake as well. Jake's got a few from the East Coast here watching him.
I imagine, not really knowing my geography very well, Hull can't be too far from us, is it? It's certainly closer than I am from here.
Yeah, just down the M62.
Yeah.
Probably about 30 miles, something like that.
Yeah, it's home favourite.
Yep. There's Danny Tyler there in the crowd with his. Don't know if they're married. Emma Sedman. They've got a new addition to their family.
I know that Danny had a great win in the doubles yesterday.
Right.
Seeing some of the results, they beat Ronan McCarthy and Gary Clark 7-1.
Wow.
I can't remember who he was partnering. Danny was. I think it was Jake. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it was Jake. Actually, it was 7-1, which take nothing away from Jake and Danny, but Ronan and Gary would have been favourites for that match. So a 7-1 scoreline was certainly eye-catching.
Yep. Craig, a little bit of work to do here. He's not in an ideal position.
You leaving? Would you leave the black just for a double? Would you have left the black just for a double there? With where it was, I would have thought.
I think he, because of the cloth, he knew he could screw back into that. That shot might not have been possible on the napped.
I just think if he's screwing back into that, and I don't want to question Craig's shot choice in any way, but if screwing back into it, he wasn't guaranteed to be on the next ball.
No, I think there was a little bit of risk, but
yeah.
he didn't really have much other alternative.
Yeah.
So he's just going to leave himself. I suspect he'll leave a double. Yeah.
Yeah. Now he is leaving the double, which is slightly harder than it would have been where it was before. And he's smiling, so he's not happy with it. He wanted to come back just that extra inch, I think.
He's just going to be careful this doesn't check up too straight and hits it on the near knuckle.
Which he has.
Which he
called
has.
It well. Yeah.
Yeah, that shot has caught one or two people out.
I think you're right. I think that's probably why he didn't want to play for the double.
Well, he could have screwed back off the cushion and played it up the rail.
Slightly disappointing shot from Jake. He sort of got neither element of that shot correct. He was trying to open up the yellow and sort of hide the white from the black, but he sort of put the yellow onto the side rail and given Craig a full view of this black, which, while there's no immediate danger, Craig is going to try and find something flamboyant.
It's going to be travelling.
He does, and he's made it as well.
Oh,
wow. Wow.
That is so unlucky. That is so unlucky.
And that is why I mentioned that Jake didn't want to let him see a full ball of that black, because these players can find shots from somewhere. Obviously very unlucky he didn't get the white right, but yeah, it was a little taste of what Craig can do. He's unlucky there. So I think it's fair to say, and Craig will probably say it himself, his temperament from time to time can be in question. And it's under pressure now.
Just some of the chat going on the tour and the costs and how much hotels are, etc. Just to confirm, the entry to the tour is $470, and the hotels, if you're sharing a twin, I think is $46 per person, not 60 to 70 that somebody was quoting. And the tour is oversubscribed and full for this year, so when we get to Cardiff we're going to have around 230 players, which is a record. So whatever you think, we must be doing something right. John Chapman on the chat is quite negative about us. I don't know why you don't come down to one of our events, John, and see what it's all about. You never know, you might actually enjoy it.
I've noticed John on the chat a lot over the last 2 days, so he's watching a lot, so I hope he's enjoying the stream. Jake's got a chance here to really put Craig under it. Craig's very quickly gone from a position where he probably felt he was going to could cruise through this match to a position where he is right under it.
Because of the demand of the tour this year, it's unlikely that there will be many qualifiers or one-off entries at any of the tour events. There may be one at each. Obviously, we just have to look at that in the next week or so.
Yeah,
it's only 3 weeks to the first tour.
Yeah, I think there's a chance there may be one qualifying space available for the Welsh Open, which will, as soon as we have anything lined up for a qualifier, which can only be either next weekend or the weekend after, we will let you know, and the club that it's been held at will obviously advertise it as well, because it's going to be local for the Cardiff event. So yeah, watch this space and we'll let you all know. Hopefully give you all a little bit more notice for future events, but quite rightly our main focus so far has been on this World Championships. It takes a lot of planning, and Kev's spent a lot of time getting this organised, so we'll start to focus on the tour on Monday.
Yeah, or tomorrow, as soon as I'm beating the singles. I need to must order the t-shirts tomorrow. Must order them tomorrow.
So with Jake missing that first pot when I said he had a good chance to put Craig under it, now Craig's turn to respond. Everything's there, so just needs to be careful. He's got to be careful with this shot because he could nudge the red up the rail, so make sure he plays on the one into the middle. And now he's travelling away from that red, so...
Yeah, he called it there, Simon.
Yeah, tricky.
Little wry smile from Craig, he knows he's done exactly what you called.
And this is the...
He's got an area that he can play in though. Top cushion, maybe the side cushion with a little bit of left hand side, just to spin into that gap, but not easy.
I think this is the sort of shot though there that he may... one of these players, when they're fairly new to this cloth, can get found out on. I would say... I think once he gets used to it, this is no problem, but it could go wrong here.
He's played this well. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he played that well. A little bit unlucky, but he'd be disappointed. He had quite a decent sized area to get into there. Not potted it, but he's hit it. Got his advantage, Jake.
Yeah, it's almost as big a disaster as missing it altogether in terms of knocking it onto that rail. Not quite, but Jake could go game here with confidence that he's got the red safe, but his first pot would be difficult.
Yeah, these two yellows in this bottom left, so I'll probably just glance off those, develop them, take the white to the top. Oh, he's not hit that very well at all.
He's got away with that a little bit.
That was an edgy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to try and slice this along the rail off the cushion.
Craig's thinking at the very least he wants to cover this left-hand bottom bag off one cushion. I mean, the hit is guaranteed, all but guaranteed. So, yeah, he's looking at he's looking at making it to the bottom left, but that's unlikely. But he's going to play it at a pace to cover the two yellows, which it hasn't quite gone to plan. He's half covered one, kind of half blocked the other with the red. So another safety, I would imagine, coming up from Jake. He's one good safety away from winning this frame, really.
You know, he could be tempted to take that plant straight away if he's feeling ultra aggressive. And, you know, the last thing I would want to be doing is giving Craig Marsh any shots.
I think he's got the total.
Yeah, well, he's going to hit it 'cause it's easy, but
is this going to be a
going to
hit
be
and a
flying
hope?
round?
We can see it. You can see it.
Ah, right. This is it now.
Yeah, now's your chance.
That couldn't have landed any better. For Jake, he's just got to hold himself together. And he's. I think I'd probably be almost tempted to take this one at the bottom left next, but depends how he sees it.
Yeah, I can understand that thinking. Depends if he decides to play it just to play it on the plant.
Danny Bailey, I've just seen your message. I'll speak to you later. May have some good news for you. Yes, he's doing it now. I just think if he'd have taken it out earlier, it would have had more margin of error.
Unlikely to go wrong, but it could go wrong now.
Well, it has gone wrong.
It has.
Well, he didn't hit that one with much conviction. It was a bit.
Yeah, I think he called it straight away. I think that was the shot was to clear that one earlier. Then everything had its own pocket. It still shouldn't have been a problem, but yeah, would have just made things that fraction easier.
I know Jake won the under-23s at BI, but this probably has to be one of the biggest matches of his career. You know, with all due respect to that event, you know, you're only playing people in your own age group. You're not playing the likes of Craig Marsh. There's no disrespect meant to any of the players in that event. But this is a completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be human if he wasn't thinking of getting a little bit ahead of himself. I think he's going to need a little bit of luck here. Yep. He was always kissing the black. He needed to play that with side and come round the black, which must have made the shot harder.
Maybe he was playing the I can't believe he was playing the full ball cannon on the black, but hoping to leave the double. I doubt that, but maybe he thought he was flicking it. I don't know. But you're giving Craig opportunities to do something when you don't want to be doing that. He's already shown that, albeit unluckily, in this match.
So Craig needs a little bit of luck here. There's a lot of places on that table he can put that white to not leave him a pot.
There's pressure on this pot.
Yeah, and he's got to play it in pocket weight.
Yeah, he really does, because he doesn't want to play. The white can get away from him if it's one of those that he would really like to cue in a bit firmer, but probably has to be. Oh, he's jacking up on it. He's trying to come back to the black into the middle. I thought he'd just drop this in. Oh, he played that
great
well.
shot. That was harder than it looked.
Yeah.
And then goes the black. That's a good finish. It's getting tense out there now.
Yeah. Craig's just going to leave the room to compose himself. It's he lost now 6 of the last 7 frames. I think he's lost something along those lines.
Yeah, John Chapman, our friend on the chat, makes a good point about players being caught out by their responsiveness. Yeah, that's due to its grippy type nature, and it is going to take him a few tournaments to be fully confident with it. But it's not that big a difference. It's small things that can sort of be magnified a little bit.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
But in fairness to Craig, he played the full World Series last year, so he's played on this cloth for 6 tournaments, and I think he'll be as used to it as anyone. So I don't think it's too much of an issue for Craig.
And the next match on the stream will be a bit of a titanic one, probably one of the ties of the round.
Yeah, I kind of when the draw came out, I felt sorry for it's Scott and Ross.
Yeah, Ross Fernie and Scott Gillespie from Scotland.
Just because they probably didn't want to draw each other. It's because Scott was the qualifier, and he probably looking at that draw going, I'll take 30 of any of the 30, but Liam and Ross, and he gets Ross. So bit of a shame, but it's going to give us a mouth-watering match. Kev's just popped away from the comm box for a few minutes, doing his chairman duties. So you'll have to put up with just me for now. Tricky start to this visit for Craig. Difficult to tell, was he playing the red off the cushion off the yellow? Couldn't do too much with the reds, and he didn't have a yellow on, so he's it's not the worst split, but he didn't really have much of an option. He's played that well. He wanted to make it, and he'll be annoyed he hasn't made it, but he's I say no real damage done, but you just never really want to give your opponent to get a chance to get their hand on the table if you've got a chance to finish. But it's a pretty good lead from Craig.
So we're just going to get the current matches updated with the set score. So Mel's going round now and updating Q score with the latest sets. So we'll bring you them in the next 5 minutes. See what.
Excellent. There was a couple of people on chat asking for the live scores at the beginning of the match, so that's good.
Yeah, we can't put frame scores on currently because Q score is not set up for that just yet. But yeah, we can certainly get the sets updated and see what the early exchanges are bringing.
This is, in my opinion, a really important visit in this match. He's just running away from Craig at the moment, and he needs to get a foothold in this set with confidence as well. That red below the black is slightly awkward. Looks like he's got half a pocket to the left middle. Obviously not on there now. He's just wondering whether he could play for the gap between the yellow and the black to take it to the bottom right, but I'm pretty certain that shot's not on. Okay, he's playing the red onto the red and screwing across. He would probably be quite happy if he makes the skill shot here. In fact, he's probably playing to make both. Yeah, I think he probably was, but no damage. Would have just made the the end of this finish just that fraction easier. If he plays through the 2 yellows, he's just got to find the gap. Doesn't want a bad cannon here. If he catches the one on the rail too thick, he can come up awkward on the black. Oh, played that lovely. That's a better shot than it looked.
So some of the early set scores. Mark Farnsworth, he's 1-0 up against Toby Bolt. Jack Whelan, he's 2-0 up against Pierre Damien Cos. So those two are heading for a blockbuster last 32 clash, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Matty Smith, 1-all with JJ Fall. Another hotly fancied tip for the title, John McAllister, he's 2-0 up even against Matt Schofield. Andy Blurton, he's taking the first set against Jason Rimington, as has Andy Lucas against Nicky Griffiths.
I think both of those matches pretty even though it's qualifier versus seed. Andy Blurton's, I think he's very high up in the Open rankings, but he's turning pro this year. But because he's an amateur, he's not seeded. So he's probably seeded higher than Jason in the Open rankings. But so a really tough draw for Jason, or for both of them really. But
current world champion Gareth Hibbert, he's 2-0 up against Darren McCarthy. Ben Davis, he's 2-0 up against Gavin Robinson. Liam Dunstan, another highly fancied bet, he's taking the first set against Mark Legorley.
The homeless Becks.
Alex O'Donoghue, he's taking the first set against Oliver Barlow. Gary Clark, he's taking the first set against Mark Pickworth. Jimmy Croxton, he's in a hurry. He's won 3-0 against Luke Walker already. Did they turn up? And my doubles partner Ian Alley, he's 1-all against Clint Ianson, so that's going to be a tough battle. Curtis Lee, he's won the first set against Brian Halcrow.
That Clint and Ian match must have been a pretty tough call to whether it was this match or that match on the stream.
Yeah, it was only because Ian had been on the stream against Jordan Church that we didn't call that one. But we knew this would be a great match because we know Jake's quality player. So it was a win-win situation, I thought.
Oh, yeah, there's so many great matches down that list. Certainly was one of the eye-catching ones when the draw came out, was Ian versus Clint. Has Craig snookered himself? He has. He's walking around the table covering his eyes. He's distraught with himself here. He's just run out of position 2 or 3 times in this set, which is why he's 2-1 down and possibly going to turn this table over and could be staring 3-1 in the face. It must be tight because he's had a look at it a few times, so it's a little bend, but tough shot. Oh. He's kind of very annoyed with himself, but with a sort of wry smile on his face and his sort of not angry yet, but he might be inside.
Yeah, it could be a big...
Which, with this format, you just can't afford to get angry. So hopefully he's going to sort of laugh that off and move on. Next chance sort of attitude, hopefully.
There's just a bit of chatter about the incident with Greg Button and Max Nosko yesterday when Greg stopped the white going down the pocket and picked it out, stopped it before it went in, and just it was obviously going in, and gave the white to Max for his 2 shots, and subsequently that's a nice flick. And subsequently, the frame was claimed. Now, I was commentating on that match at the time, and were you commentating?
Oh, I was watching in the crowd, yeah.
And immediately, here's my take on it for what it's worth. Immediately, when it was done, Max looked up at. I caught his eye. He looked in this direction, and he knew what had happened.
Yeah.
He knew the rules.
It was very obvious, yeah.
And he walked around the table for probably the next 45 seconds, I'd say. And you could see he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, he was thinking about it in his own mind. He wasn't the fact that the balls that were left were difficult, because if I remember rightly, I don't think they were. But he didn't really know what the right thing to do was in my mind. And he mentioned to Greg that after he'd walked around the table 2 or 3 times thinking about what to do, he mentioned to Greg that that was a frame away offence, and that was that.
Yeah,
basically. And I think he did the right thing.
Yeah, I think once Max obviously knew the rule, and as soon as he's thinking that's frame, and it was obviously at a crucial time, which made it worse. But the minute Max is thinking, right, that's the rule. I won this set, but I don't know whether I should take it or not. Even if he goes for the finish, if he goes, all right, I'm not going to play that rule. I'll go for the finish, and it just makes that finish harder because of what happened. And he's under a little bit more pressure because he knows he should I have already claimed the set, and that's. So in that, as soon as he's thinking that, then he's absolutely he should claim the set. Now, I don't know whether I would have done would have done the same thing. I've not been in that situation, but I think he probably did the right thing. And from Greg's side of the table, he had absolutely no issues with it at all.
Yeah, the rules are the rules, and it is a world championship, so for it's worth, I say it's all about opinions, but I think he did the right thing.
The interesting, just to add to that about that situation, was the fact that at 3-0 in that set, Max, I was behind the shot, so I couldn't tell, but the people to the left and right had told me that his shirt had touched the black when he leant over the table. Now Max wouldn't have felt it at all, because it was just a shirt feathering it. But I think Greg saw it, because Greg walked around the table and had a look, and Greg he either decided it wasn't touching, or he decided that he wasn't going to say anything. But the people left and right both, I sort of spoke to them. There was probably 10 of them, and they were all like, yeah, absolutely, he was sort of smothering it, although he wouldn't have felt it. So that probably and then that happens at the end of the set, probably just makes it look a little bit worse. But Greg made his decision, if he thought it was a foul, not to say anything to Max, and didn't let it affect him. He seemed to play the rest of the set with focus, so it had gone. It just sort of, at being part of the crowd, it sort of just was a bit more, just made that situation feel a little bit worse.
Yeah, and we shouldn't let that take away from what was a great match.
Oh, absolutely.
And played in great spirit, and they were both up for the battle, and probably Greg's thinking it's one that probably got away from him a little bit. Oh, he's underhit that one by a mile.
He knows. I think Greg knows that he had the chance to win the set regardless, and he didn't. He made a bit of a hash of it. It was probably one of his only major mistakes in the match, but and I haven't spoken to Greg. I don't know him particularly well. But I've seen on his Facebook post that he was just after the match said, "Congratulations to Max, well played. The better player won." It was really respectful, and there was absolutely no issues at all.
Oh, he sunk an amazing block there. He didn't play for that. He played it in the middle. But what I didn't understand there was, if he'd have played it in the right middle, he could have brought the white anywhere down this bottom end of the table and not had to worry about snooker himself or anything.
Yeah.
I think what was in his mind was, because he was playing it with running right hand side, he was coming down the right hand side. He didn't want to be too hard, just in case he snookered himself behind the red in the bottom right.
Yeah.
So I think he could have played a slightly different shot and made that a lot easier for himself. But anyway, that said, he still played a black where he only had half a pocket in, so that was a great shot.
Just going back to the Max, when I say that Max feathered the black, he would have had absolutely no knowledge of it in any way, shape or form. It was just a shirt touching, so I'm not trying to say anything along those lines. So yeah, just want to make sure that's clear.
Yeah, it was a great match though. It was a great match.
Fantastic.
Really enjoyed it.
It's sort of got the ball rolling with great matches on the stream, because yesterday we had just one after another. It was just incredible. Ian versus Jordan was an absolute epic, and then we had back-to-back black ball shootouts in the doubles after that as well. So,
right, what was the one after then? I saw the Rooney Fernie one.
it was Jack Whelan and Rob Donkin versus Jason Twist and Arfan Dad, and it went 6-6.
All right, who won that then?
Jason and Arfan.
Did they?
They did, yeah. It was there was just the one miss in the black ball shootout.
We like a bit of drama, don't we? We like a bit of black ball shootout drama.
Yeah, there's, you could feel the tension in the commentary box, and it's amazing how people flock to the arena when the black ball shootout is starting to brew. It's 5-5. All of a sudden, people start inching over. And it's there was a nice crowd for both shootouts on the stream. Of course, we had a few more shootouts in the arena as well.
Yeah. There must have been 100 people watching that Fernie one.
Yeah,
that was great.
Ooh.
Yeah, didn't get into that one. I mean, yesterday, and what day is it today? Thursday. Certainly Tuesday we saw a lot of sets where somebody was 3-0, 3-1 up, as we are here, and and lost. Well,
I was just about to say that I was almost in the exact same situation that Jake's in now. I lost the first set without really doing much wrong. I kind of maybe made half a mistake, as Jake did. Won the second set with pretty much 4 visits to the table, and then third set I'm 3-1 up, playing lovely. Had a half chance, maybe probably better than a half chance, as Jake's just had. Didn't take it. My opponent made a lovely finish, and then the next 2 were off the break for him, and he won the set 4-3. And so instead of feeling good and looking to go 2-1 up, I'm 2-1 down, and all of a sudden all the pressure's on me, and a couple more mistakes in the last set, and that was me done. It can turn around very quickly in this format.
So is there anyone out there who's watching, who's on the chat, who wishes they were here playing? You want to tell us if you want to get involved next year? John Chapman, come on, where are you? You know you want to play, really.
This is tricky for Craig. He's obviously got that awkward yellow on the right-hand side. Doesn't want to cannon that yellow. Sort of finished a bit nowhere here.
He's making it hard work for himself, as old Craigie boy. I'm not sure what his plan was, because he had this yellow tied up
Yeah.
Next to the red, and he's not made any attempt. Well, I can't even work out what his plan is.
Oh, that was incredibly aggressive shot choice, because he's tried to develop the red and yellow on the right hand side as well as making the cross double.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make the cross double, opening those two up would be a disaster. So that was a very aggressive shot choice.
He's just going to look to glance the red here. He's hit the yellow, but missed the pot.
Missed the pot. Oh.
But covered the red.
Just that's his only hope, really, is that Jake doesn't get good on the one. He's covered the red to the obvious middle bag with the yellow, so he needs to get onto it to one of the corners.
Well, is he going to play the plant? I think he's got to
that's
do.
a good call. Yeah, absolutely. Played it very well. So, looks like Jake's got a very clear-cut chance now to win the set. Ooh, White's run away from him. Yeah, that's not ideal. Needs a good recovery now.
Said before, he wouldn't be human if he wasn't starting to feel things. You know, he's thinking, well, potentially I'm one set away from taking out one of the hot favourites.
Yeah. It's good recovery. Very good recovery. Just still needs to be careful with this white.
That needs to stop.
Needs to be careful with the white.
What's he done? We can't see.
He's does it go? If it goes in the right middle, he's a chance. But if it doesn't, he's not. He's looking at it. It may squeeze in.
Well, if he can't, then he's got to take the white off the left hand side cushion and try and pot it into that right middle.
On the screen, it looks like he's no chance, but I think he could. I don't know if he can play this thin enough to get the black hitting the yellow. Maybe I don't know. It's very difficult to tell.
That was one of those shots that if he'd have been in the club, he'd have probably just spun it round off two rails for the black into the left middle. But I think he just sort of got caught in between.
But it was the shot. It was the shot three out that he just ran out of position, leaving himself longer for the next two than he should have been.
Yep, just go for the shot that I called.
And not made it. So, huge lifeline for Craig Marsh.
Wow.
Huge lifeline. Now it's going to be a case of how does Jake keep his head now? How does he stay calm and focused for the next frame? Because that was a gilt-edged chance to win the set.
Someone asking, has Mikhail ever participated in an IPA event? Yes. Obviously pre the new regime, as it were. He was a regular on the IPA tour, multiple winner. And he played, when we formed the new committee, he played in that first year. In fact, he was even on the committee as a players rep. And but no, not since then. So that would have been 2012. I think he played.
Certainly pre my time on the tour.
Yeah, certainly not played in the Black Ball era. But I think he's doing his own thing in with China now, and Chinese 8 ball. So good luck to him in that.
So he hit that break well, but it's come out a bit awkward. Problems in a couple of areas.
Yeah, Jordan Church has moved over to black ball, and we saw what a talent he was, or what he is yesterday in his match with Ian Alley. Great match.
Yeah, he made three break dishes, in 2 of them in under a minute, and 1 of them in a minute and a half to get back into the match. It was absolutely just unreal how good that match was. It really was. It had everything, the mistakes, but unbelievable clearances, great shot making, and just so flamboyant and quick. It was just brilliant.
That's what black ball's all about. So he's going to be looking to play this one in the middle, glance up, and then plant those 2 reds to put that yellow to open those reds up. And that very shot is just basically sums up the aggressive nature of black ball. It's coming up now. Needs to hit the red full in the face.
Didn't really hit it.
No,
didn't really hit it.
He's going to be disappointed with that one.
Looked a little bit under-paced. Didn't obviously get the contact he wanted either, but still. So.
QView saying they love the format. It's like snakes and ladders. Well, yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. It is. You cannot relax at all, even when you're 3-0 up in a set, because we've seen time and time again how quickly things can change around. Is he going for the back double?
It was a great effort. He won't be too disappointed with that. Although giving Craig a chance to get his hand on the table is always dangerous, and he does have a ball to be able to open that area up. So if he can pop this one in the middle of the table, he'll go straight after it. So it's Craig's chance to play the same shot that Jake played a minute ago. See how much pace he puts into this one. See. He's been unlucky, though. That was the sort of pace I thought Jake was going to hit it at, to sort of try and clear it all out. He tried to play it a bit more controlled than I was thinking.
Liam Dunster, Mark McGawley tied up at 1-all. And Andy Blurton 2-0 up against Jason Remington, the man who knocked out defending seniors champion Jason Twist last night. Ian Alley and Clint Ianson, 1-all. That's got to be going all the way, isn't it, that one?
Just shows you, though, Clint, one of the favourites for the tournament, playing a qualifier, and we're calling a deciding set. That's the standard of the qualifying.
Jack Whelan cements his place in the last 32 with a 3-0 victory over the remaining. No, not the remaining. No. Yannick Beaufils is still in. Over Pierre Coz.
Huge shot coming up from Craig. He plays the skill shot incredibly well, but this is a very tough one. Reds to the side of the pocket. Oh, brilliant shot. Absolutely fantastic.
I don't know what it is about these Welsh players, but they are all superb exponents of the skill shot.
There are times when there's the skill shots, the ball's right in the middle of the pocket and you're right behind it, and you know the player's going to make it. In fact, they're shocked if he's missed the one down the rail following it. After that shot, But that skill shot from Craig was very tough, and he made that look easy. Just missed the one down the rail. Oh, he'll be so frustrated. So this is Jake's got another great chance to win this set.
we'll just talk about the cloth after this. Oh, wow, that wiggled in. You can feel the tension out there. These are big moments in this match. Even the baby in the audience, it's getting to the baby as well.
So this is for 2-1 to Jake.
Right in the middle of the pocket.
Right in the middle.
Well, we've got a match on now. Craig Marsh is going to have to win the last 2 sets if he wants to have a chance to go one step further than last year. So no real shocks.
No, there are some seeds beating, some qualifiers beating seeds, but I wouldn't class those as shocks. They're just close matches, closely matched matches.
Yep. Mark Farnsworth still 1-0 up against Toby Bolt. So the second set must be a tight affair. You can just see over that Mark's at the table. But,
of course, we would call, if Jake wins this match, we would call that a shock. You know, Craig is one of the big heavy favourites to win this tournament. Not taking anything away from Jake, who's a fantastic player. So this could be the shock of the round, if we can call it that.
It's the first time I've really looked at the draw in any detail, and so let's just look a little bit further ahead. I'm sure there's going to be lots of swings and roundabouts, but the next round we could see Mark Farnsworth against Jack Whelan, the winner to play John McAllister. And the winner of that could play Craig Marsh or Jake Newlove, who could then play Gareth Hibbert.
Yeah. I think there's a fair chance that Mark, if he does come through his match, obviously he's winning at the moment, versus Jack, would be a heavy favourite for a stream game.
Well, you never know.
You know, I mean, they're okay.
They've certainly got potential, them two, if they apply themselves. So yeah, just if you're new to the stream or new to IPA events, and you're looking and thinking, what's this blue stuff that they're all playing on? So it's the new Simonis 861 cloth in powder blue that the IPA is using this year. And it's obviously a massive change away from the green. I was waiting for that sneeze for ages. That's a nice shot from Craig. So yeah, it's a new cloth we're using, and there's lots of reasons for that. And one is about giving Blackball its own identity and moving away from it being viewed as small snooker. And so there's the image and the visual side of things. As a player, it's more grippy, so you can play more shots on it. And I know that if you've been watching on the stream, you can see some of the. It's more reactive. And if you're a club owner, it's long lasting. It's covered in spill guard. It's low maintenance. There's no brushing and ironing needed. It's just pad it down. And overall, just a great cloth and beautiful to play on.
Oh, Craig Marsh. Oh, I did not see that coming.
What's happened there?
He's just missed a black that he would never, he wouldn't dream of missing. That's, oh, that. I was just thinking to myself how composed I felt he was staying, because I know he can get angry with himself. He was kind of, showing a few signs of sort of, wry smiles and stuff, but he looked fairly positive for every time he came to the table. But this will be a real test for him now, That was a surprise. That was a good hit.
Oh, what
That's
a
good hit.
shot.
That's an incredible hit.
The knowledge that these guys have got is absolutely incredible. See, when people start getting out of snookers like that, sometimes it can make you go for that shot that you don't really want to go for.
Yeah. I think the way to use the snooker, you're not doing it to try and get 2 shots, because you just think they're going to get out of everything. It's just using it to develop your balls for your next visit, I think.
It's playing the plant.
I'm not sure about that as a choice, but
I'm not sure what is left. Can he get the double?
can he see the double? It's very difficult to tell.
Is this another massive turning point in the match? There it goes.
Wow. That Craig's making light of it, but that could be a huge, huge moment in the match. If Jake had found a way to win that frame, that I know we're early in the set, but that could have been the match.
Yeah, I mean, he hits the ball really well, Jake, but just occasionally just doesn't really hit it with any conviction. A couple of times I've noticed, and in particular that plant, he was short. He was short of pace. He should never have been short of pace on that shot.
Yeah. Now Jake's left the room just to compose himself, and Craig will be mighty relieved.
So you can catch all the scores on the IPA website. If you just go to the home page, and you'll see at the top there's a link to live scores. So you just click on that link and it'll take you to like the home page for the World Championships, and you just click on whichever event you want. So you need to click on the last 64 button, you'll see it there, and hey presto, you'll have all the last 64 matches and onwards, right down to the final, all in front of you there.
Few questions coming in about the cloth, Kev. Is it openly available? Where can people get hold of the cloth? And what's the difference between this cloth and a speed cloth? He will answer as soon as he's finished doing some of his chairman duties. Jake's back, so we're off. Great break from Craig. Really good break. Table's wide open. He can go either way here. That's how he sees it. I would have thought reds. Looks a fairly slightly easier colour set. He controlled that shot lovely. Really delicate little screw shot. That quite a thin cut. Played it really nicely. So, yeah, a few questions on the cloth. Where is it available? And is it? What's the difference between this and a speed cloth?
Well, the difference between this and a speed cloth is a sort of technical question. It's all to do with compression within the cloth, or something like that. I don't really fully understand it.
It's nowhere near as a speed cloth. You get a sense that the ball is never going to stop running. It's nothing like that at all.
Yeah, no.
So it's a really nice pace to play on.
So something like the Simone 760, I think it's 760 and 860, which are speed cloths. But no, this is quite a unique product that was initially designed for Chinese 8-ball, but was never used. So we tried it and we thought it was perfect. So we introduced it at Brighton for the last man standing event, and last year we used it for the World Series, and now we're using it for all IPA events. You can see Gareth Hibbert standing, so he must have won 3 sets to 0.
Yeah, 3-0. Yeah,
he has. Mark Farnsworth 2 sets to 0 up against Toby Bolt. Matty Smith's taking a 2 sets to 1 lead against JJ Fall. Dunstrom and Macaulay still 1 set apiece. And Clint Jansen, Ian Ellis still 1 set apiece.
You can just see how the match has sort of turned on that frame. Since then, Craig's broke dished, and Jake's broke dry, so those sort of chances are now coming Craig's way. Yeah, is the cloth available? Where can the cloth be? Where can people get hold of the cloth?
Yeah, the UK distributor is called Lifestyle Leisure. They're based in Stockport, I think it is, and so you can find them via Google. And the man to talk to is Stan McKenna. So if you give him a call, he'll give you all the information you need. The cloth is, I think it's around about £80 plus that. so maybe a few more pounds expensive than some of the cheaper brands, but you know, for what you get in and how long it lasts, etc. I think it's pretty good value.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, they're a lot easier to maintain and look after. So if you're thinking of getting one for your home or your local club, there are, you know, there's some advantages in those ways as well, not just the way they play.
Yep, so if you had one at home, you wouldn't need to buy an iron for it, for example, so you'd save on the cost of an iron. So I think it's great value.
Just going away from the cloth for a second, somebody's mentioned Andy McDonald, and has he forfeited his match? Andy's decided to take a break from pool for a while. He's been playing at an extremely high level for a very long time, and he felt it was the right time to have a break. So that's why he's not here this week, and he's not on the tour this year. Wish Andy, if he's watching, all the best for whatever he's going to do. He's a good guy, and yeah, wish him all the best. Hopefully see him at some point somewhere at some event.
Absolutely, absolutely. Too good to play not to pick a queue up again. Just to note, Clint Jansson's taken a 2-1 lead against Ian Ali.
Just come up short there. He was looking to, I think, looking to get on the bottom one, but it's actually not too bad. He just needs to take the one to the left middle and screw back a fraction. Tricky shot, but he still has a shot. That's the important thing. He wanted to play the bottom rail first, but he's had to reroute. He cued that one nicely. So still a delicate shot left. Just caught the near jaw and hasn't dropped, so. Jake's turn to respond, really. He's 2-0 down in this set, and some mistake from Craig he made a mistake in the first frame of the set, and Jake didn't take advantage, and he kind of really needs to now, otherwise the set can get away from him. Someone's asked about Liam Dunster. He's currently 1-all with Mark McGawley. I can just see him at the table in the arena now. So I don't know what the score in the current set is, but 1-all at the moment. Just held his hand up there to apologise. He wasn't playing that off the red, but it snuck in. A wry smile from Craig as well, but it's part and parcel of the game. I think that little cannon's come out lovely as well. It's just nudged all of these open. I think he can see the one to the right, top right pocket. So one good positional shot off this ball, and should give him a good chance, which he's got. So just needs to bear in mind that the black doesn't go to the bottom right pocket, so make sure he leaves a good angle on his last ball. Have a clear idea of which pocket he wants to play for the black in. Neil asks, is there any last 64 shocks on the cards? I think there's quite a few qualifiers that are winning, but I wouldn't really call them shocks. Maybe they're slight second favourites going into the match, but there were some pretty even matchups in the draw. I would say this would probably be the biggest shock of the round so far. But Jake's a fantastic player, so You know, he would, you know, it would be a shot, but not a huge one. It's almost as though the breaks go with the momentum. So Craig wins a frame and gets the opportunity off the break. Craig makes a mistake and he comes up dry. He caught them pretty good. So an opportunity for Jake straight away to go 2-2. Wide open split. Possibly looking at reds, probably, but there's a little bit of a problem at the top end of the table. There's a yellow sort of blocking the top right hand pocket. They all three at the top go to the top left, but it just, you know, needs tidy cue ball control. So he is going to go yellows. And the reason I didn't think he'd go yellows was because of this yellow on the right hand side, but he's gone straight after it. So if he rolls this in, then yellows were definitely the choice. The right choice. And he played that one down the rail lovely, so giving himself a lovely chance now. Just under hit that. I think he's okay because I can see Craig's right behind this shot, and I think Craig sort of thinks he's on it. So yeah, or maybe not then if he's playing a little swerve. Yeah, played that lovely. Well played. It's still not ideal. It's still slightly tricky. It's not a great route left. It's hard to play this one down the rail, which is his only option, and get good position on the next ball.
Yeah, he's got to screw back up to the top left-hand corner of the table. Can't see running through being the option. Yeah, as I thought he would do.
Absolutely, just as you called.
Yep.
But this isn't the easiest. He wanted actually to be quite a bit straighter on this, because he's going to play for the yellow into the right middle, I believe. He's got quite a bit more angle, so he's probably going to be bumping up into the... it's a tricky angle, because he probably would have wanted just a fraction more or a little bit less. Yeah, so much so he's going the other way first. Not to be. Does Craig have a good opening ball? Not sure that he has. Don't think the red below the black goes to the left middle. Yeah, you could play the red to the right of the black to the top right, but it's a tough pot. Or we can see the one at the table, so he can play this with a bit more freedom because he's not going to leave anything if he misses. And that's how he played it. He played it slow. knowing full well that if he didn't make that pot, he wasn't leaving a pot on. He was still trying to make it. Talking about shocks and are there any brewing, there is a qualifier that's 2-0 up on the seed. That's Gary Clark is 2-0 up on Mark Pickworth, who, in my opinion, is probably the most underrated player on the tour, because Mark's a fantastic player. But so's Gary, so I don't really want to call that a shock, but obviously it's a qualifier 2-0 up on the seed.
Toby Bolt's just pulled a set back against Mark Farnsworth. It's 2-1.
We saw Toby on the stream yesterday or the day before, lost track of days, but very good player.
Played that well.
Yeah, that was a better shot than it looked. Could have gone wrong that to get a bad angle on this last ball, or this penultimate ball.
Yeah, that miss could come back to haunt Jake early in the one of the early frames.
Yeah, he probably didn't quite go around the... It was a tricky finish, that's for certain. He probably just didn't go around it the way he wanted to and got out of position and was trying to sort of find a way back. But, forced into a double, which he didn't make. So we could be heading for a exciting fifth set decider. 3-1 to Craig. He could still lose this set, but we're heading that way. There's something about this stream table this week, Kev. It's
a magnet.
Yeah. Oh, what a break.
It's a tremendous break, is that?
So he probably deserved a slightly better split, but they're still fairly good. He probably wants reds. Has he got an opening red? I don't think he has. I don't think he can see the one over the bottom left. So, which is why he probably deserves better than he's got here. If he's forced into yellows, which is... He also doesn't really have an opening pot on the yellows either, but he's going to have a little bit of tricky work to do. The only open yellow he can pot is the one to the bottom right. What would you do in this situation, Kev? I mean, I'm looking at it thinking, should he be playing a safety off one of the ones at the top? But then, are you giving Craig a chance to go game on yellows? And do you want to take that risk?
No, I think you don't want to give your opponent any sign of weakness.
So you're looking for an attacking option from here, which probably means yellows. Needs that to bounce.
That's okay. Could play containing safety here.
Yeah.
Develop his yellow and leave Craig behind the yellow.
Oh, he's overhit it though. He's overhit it. Given Craig the chance So here we go. Chance for the set to make it 2-2. Looks like he's going to try and pop this one to the bottom left and just swing across the right-hand side of the table and get on the red above the black to the right middle. I think that's what he's going to be looking at, just by the way he sort of pointed his cue and went round the table. I think he may not have played on that, of course. He may decide that's the right ball for his last ball. If it goes to the bottom right, then it gives he can just drop it through for the black into the bottom left. But the black also goes into the right middle, so there's no real problems here. Everything goes everywhere. Still chose to move it just to make it easier again. I think that's perfect as well. You can just take this one to the left middle and just come back almost to where he is now, and it would be absolutely perfect. That's the set. We're going to a decider. We do like a decider, Kev.
Yep. And we like him even more at 3-all.
Yep. I think it's fair to say that that wasn't the best set from Jake. He probably could have done a bit more at the beginning, first frame, and had a couple of chances that he didn't make the most of where he was in the previous two sets. So maybe he was thinking about the fact that he was 2-1 up on Craig Marsh, one of the tournament favourites. Maybe not, but probably didn't look as confident in that set as previous sets.
So here we go.
Another good break.
Wow,
Now
look at those reds.
Wide open split.
Has the momentum of this match changed at the beginning of that last set when Jake missed that pretty routine finish? Is it going to come back to haunt him?
John asks, is it a black ball shootout that goes 3-3? No, it's just a deciding frame with whoever's won the lag will be breaking the deciding frame of the match. The black ball shootout's just for the doubles, and I think rightly so as well. So 1-0 to Craig, and a lovely break and finish. Made light work of that after a very, very good break. Just want to give a shout out to David Hine, one of the voices you will have heard the whole of last season. He's just sent me a photo of himself watching the stream. Got it on the big screen. He's coming up Saturday, so looking forward to seeing you, David, and maybe sneak you on the commentary for a set or two. I think the viewers enjoyed your thoughts last year.
Mr. Stato.
Yeah. He's asked who my tip for the title is, but I'm more interested to know his tip for the title.
Throw that back well there, Simon.
Yeah. he hit that break really well, but unfortunately he's come up dry, so it's sort of another opportunity for Craig. So the set sort of chances are his way early in this set. Slightly trickier than the last chance, or a lot trickier than the last chance. A few more problems on the table. Still a good chance. I mean, it's just a little bit more congested, but all the reds have a pocket.
Could this be where the experience of Marsh just makes that a little bit of a difference?
Jordan Graham's asked what the next match on the stream is. We've got a all-Scottish battle next. Scott Gillespie versus Ross Fernie. Should be an absolute cracker, that one. Unfortunate for them both to draw each other in this last 64 stage. I think there was two Scottish seeds, and Scott Gillespie probably would have taken any of the other 30 and wouldn't have wanted to play a Scot, but unfortunately that's the way it's panned out. So it's given us an exciting game to watch anyway. Not sure if that last little cannon's made it slightly more awkward for Craig or not. It's difficult to tell whether that red above the black needs to be moved or whether he can just play it now or pot it from a certain angle. I'm sure it goes to the right middle. Probably won't want to play it from here because he'll be knocking the black, which in turn will go into the yellow and the red. So I think if he finishes slightly low on it, it'll be fine. Again, that definitely has made things more awkward. So this is tricky. Okay, so he can pop the red above the black, just nudge into the black, open the black up, leave himself on the red to the top. So looks like he's recovering the situation well. Yeah, very good. Really well done. That was much better than the first finish. Much harder, much trickier. He had to get a really good pinpoint position all the way through that. So very good. Okay, David Hayden's come in with his tip. He's gone for John McAllister and Scott Gillespie from a betting point of view. It's, saying love to see a Marsh Reese in the doubles final as well. Absolutely, that's my my tip. Yeah, I've been really impressed with Jake as well. Really good to see. I think I agree with you. I think Scott Gillespie, from a betting point of view, I think Scott Gillespie's a fantastic player. One of the qualifiers that you really would have picked out that could go deep in this tournament. Obviously, with his made the final of the Scottish Open and was very impressive in doing so. Just been joined in the commentary box for the conclusion of this match by James Hanney.
Hello, Simon. All right.
Yeah, make sure you keep the noise down.
Let's try.
I was just told off by Craig for talking too loudly. We're actually very, very close to the action.
Yes.
And as this match has got closer, the volume in the room has gone down, so my voice stands out more.
It does. I was sat over by Craig and I could hear you clear as a bell.
Really?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, I could.
I think it's only when they're in this bottom corner they can hear us, but yeah, it's normally not a problem when there's quite a few people around and there's just a lot of background noise, but there's definitely the noise has definitely gone down with you can feel a bit more tension with it being a deciding frame. So
Yes.
in a strange way, I mean, I've been very impressed with Jake, but in a strange way, I've been very impressed with Craig, because Craig can lose his head, I think, having watched him for the last few years. And although he's shown signs of frustration, I don't think he's let it affect the next shot once in the match.
Yeah, he's definitely working on his temperament at the moment. He knows how much losing it has lost in matches, and he's really worked on it hard. And you still see him bubbling in the chair, not happy.
Yeah, a lot of his frustration has been shown. He's been smiling with a wry smile and kind of like, but then he's sat in his chair and just looked focused. I've been keeping half an eye on him just to see, because once Jake won that second set, obviously it was going to test Craig, just to see, because obviously he probably would have felt he was going to run away with the match the way the first set went.
Yeah, he flew with it, but
yeah,
I think Craig's wearing my lucky shirt anyway today, so
okay.
Yeah, it's far too big for me.
Yeah. Yeah, if Craig was without his shirt, he's looking around the room, then yeah, maybe you're one of the people he's probably looking at.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going for a bit of three-way commentary. I do like a bit of three-way commentary. Kev's rejoined us. So
It was just to say that the next match will start earlier if this finishes fairly quickly.
we've got 5 more frames in this match to go. Yeah, this is the commentary box is always pulling for a 4-3, 3-2 scoreline.
Just a bit of Jake's shot there on that yellow into the middle. He's just gone on 2 or 3 inches too far. He wanted a slight angle on this yellow, so he could screw the white down left side of the table. But it's just run on a bit. So
yeah, it's got a bit trickier now.
he's got a
It's not.
touch now.
I don't think that's ideal though. If the black had gone a fraction further, possibly, but yeah. I mean, he's got a very thin cut or a double, but with an extremely difficult positional shot as well. So
I think he'd be inclined to play the double and hopefully let the white run through to where he's pointing now. End up with the lower yellow to the top right corner. That's really his only chance from there.
So we have while he's thinking about this, we'll have a look at the scores.
I've just seen Ben Davis with the score sheet in his hand, so
He's beaten Gavin Ronson 3-0.
Yeah, Ben's been putting in a lot of practice, I've been told, for this event and for this season. So looking for him to have a pretty good event and a good season ahead.
Right. You just pop off the cushion. Perfect. So barring any glaring errors from Craig here, should be quite easily into a 3-0 lead in this deciding set.
He played a shot like that earlier in the match and it didn't reach the pocket, so I sort of held my breath then as he hit that.
Yes. So just looking across at Jake, he doesn't look like a beaten man. He knows what he's got to do.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say with Jake, he's just looked a fraction more tentative once he got ahead. He looked really confident and sort of composed up to that point, and he still has since, but I don't know, just a couple of shots he's played a fraction tentatively.
Yeah.
I think Craig knows he's got this match.
Yeah.
He looked confident then when he came over.
I think he knows that fourth set was a major factor in this match.
Yeah, in the third frame of the last set, Jake had a chance and made a bit of a careless error, and Craig mopped up, and that was significant. Different 3-0 and 2-1 in that set. It was massive, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I say Jake did have a couple of 3 chances in that set to get involved and put Craig under some pressure and didn't really take them. Massive break. Massive break.
Yeah, Brady hit him in the doubles yesterday, and yeah, when he breaks, those balls know they've been hit.
Yeah.
I would like to come back in another life as a red ball. I know that.
Yeah, that's right. I think the black's the safest one.
Black just gets rolled in. It's easy. But those red balls at the top of the pack.
That's right.
One good yellow, and he could open the frame up here. Well played. Oh,
yeah, he's okay.
He's okay. Fraction more angle on this than he probably wanted, but he's okay.
Still not easy. Bridging, digging down.
Well played.
Oh yes.
Queued up perfectly. Yeah. No, Jake's quite a rarity, isn't he, Kevin? Because I don't know many good players from Yorkshire. Do you know any?
Not that I know of.
All right.
No. Shame he's from Humberside.
He wore an East Yorkshire top yesterday.
I don't know what the difference is, to be honest. Is Humberside a county, or is it East Yorkshire?
It is when they're not doing well, but when they're doing well, they're Yorkshire, aren't they? Is that right? Okay. Just trying to work out the easiest way to go around about this. The plane's loaded up the right side, I imagine. Yeah.
Well, he was asked a question.
Yeah.
And he certainly came up with the answer there, so that's a great reply from Jake.
That was a lovely finish as well. The first couple of balls in that were very confidently struck and gave himself a lovely chance and rolled them in. Very, very good. Very impressive.
I think, the first couple of shots settled in 9 nicely. Yeah. Sharp exhale of breath as he came over to mark up the scores.
Yeah, with this format, he was 3-0. He didn't get a chance in that frame. It's now his break 3-1. If he comes up dry, he knows he may not get another shot till 3-3. So he knows this is a big shot.
Yeah, kind of feel Craig's got the bit in his teeth now. If he pots off this break, he should finish.
He's hit them well. Made a ball.
Black's tied up.
Black's
Well,
tricky.
it's doubleable, but it's.
That's right. He's looking at reds already, and he's just.
Yeah, there's nothing about yellows that's appealing, is there?
No.
He developed the black off the first red. Play the red down towards the bottom right, into it, flick it out, and away you go.
Do those two reds need to be developed on the middle of the table?
I think the top one goes bottom right.
You'd think there'd be an angle for one of them. Maybe not, though.
The
Looking at
bottom one goes to the middle, so.
Yeah. Absolutely, as you called. Trying to develop the black.
John McAllister must be through. He's finished, relaxed.
If anything, he's made the black slightly trickier. but unfortunate for him. I think there's some people on the chat suggesting that the Clint Anthony and Ali match has gone to 2 sets all. Hasn't come through to us yet, but saying that Clint missed a double on the black to win the match, by the sounds of things. So, race to 4 for his. So that's 2 of the favourites under pressure. He's going to get the black out again. Oh, what a shot! What a great shot!
Yeah, I think he's no good getting the black out if the reds don't go yet.
He must. This top one must go. He wouldn't have played it. Well, he might have played it, but the odds on him being on a ball afterwards, or easier ball, so this must go.
Played at the right pace.
Just had enough pocket. Yeah. It was well judged.
Yep, used all of it.
Jake was behind the shot and sort of tapped the table to say great shot after that, so it must have been tight.
That was his leg.
Well, okay, sorry. I saw him tapping.
Sorry. Just trying to help you out there.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that we notice every tournament we do, that the appreciation by the players of their opponent. You know, if they play a good shot, there is recognition. It's not, you know, there's no animosity or anything like that. It's
he's made that off the thin pocket, which has just let the white run away. He's still
it's
absolutely fine, but
he just played the white between the yellow and between the middle and the yellow up round bulk.
I think he might.
He can screw this.
Yeah,
he can screw this without hitting the side cushion.
Yeah.
On these cloth now, you can grip these like mad.
Okay.
Lovely shot.
So, just say hello to Ryan Watts down in Southampton. Ace cuts, decent barber. Don't look at my hair to judge that now.
Well played, Craig Marsh.
Yeah. Oh, is that
well
it?
Played. Yeah, that was for it.
Well, Craig.
Well played.
Yep. So,
responded really well then.
Craig Marsh on to the next round. Wearing my shirt.
Yep. Another great match.
Are you in for a cut of the prize money then, James?
All right, we're just going to interview Simon. Do you want to interview Sam Not Dressed in front of the camera?
Not really. No, not really. No.
You do. You know you do. So Simon is just going to interview Craig, asking about the match. So just bear with us.
Mention the shirt. Craig, mention the shirt.
Are we on? Are we on? Yeah. Craig, how do you think that went? It was a tough first game, that.
Definitely. I played him last year actually as well. I think it was the last 16 he sent, and he's improved no end since then. No end. He's a brilliant player. I thought I played quite well. I made a few mistakes, but not many really. I think.
Yeah, I think what in the commentary box, seeing you get off to a really good start, winning the first set 4-0, I thought there was a chance you might run away with it, but he came back so strong. And then I was sort of watching it, trying to see how you were going to react to that, and I felt like you kept your head really well. Yeah,
I did. Yeah, because like I said, I made a couple of mistakes in the second set and the third set, but not really, nothing major really. Enough to lose, enough to justify losing the match. So, yeah, I was quite happy with the way I played. To be honest, I was quite happy.
No, excellent. No, I thought it was really impressive, and once you seemed to get ahead, then you sort of got the bit between your teeth and were really strong just at the end there, and a really couple of nice finishes to win it.
Yeah, I just thought a bit of experience sort of showed at the end. But in all fairness, his break let him down in the last 2 sets, and he didn't get any balls, and he just basically left all the finishes for me, and a bit of experience, and I managed to get over the line.
No, absolutely. Well played, and best luck for the rest of the tournament.
Cheers. Thanks, sir.